Okay, so welcome back to Giving Me These Coins and Banknotes, and my name is Glenn, and taking a break from watching Jimmy Carr to evaluate these 2018 $5 banknotes. So I have only recently come across these, probably within the last year. All those, I think they've been around since 2018, but they were not released into circulation pretty much until recently. So we have the 2016. These banknotes still are being released because they always get brand new ones. So that is 9 years, and I have put that down to pretty much the eradication of cash for electronic payments. So if you've ever looked at the Reserve Bank of Australia, sometimes they have reports, and they do reports on cash banknotes, and basically it has plummeted since 2008. Anyway, so that's probably the reason why these banknotes have only been released recently. And also there was COVID, in which cash virtually disappeared because during lockdowns no one could go out, no one can actually spend cash. So a lot of the 2016 banknotes pretty much were not issued. So that was on I think like 2 or 3 year period, and cash still hasn't made a bounce back. So anyway, so these banknotes start AA, end in AG. So AG, we'll have a look in a minute. No, EG, I should say E, and it's the first number is 18, so that's the year, and then you got 7 numbers, so you can have at least per prefix 10 million numbers. So that's quite a lot compared to the previous series, which you could only have 1 million. Okay, and then there's standard features. So this is Omnicrom, whatever you say, Omnicrom feature to because a lot of printers and scanners have this in their part of their programming, and it's designed to stop you from scanning these banknotes. We have the Parliament House with the flag. Here's the Parliament House from the top, so that's the plan. And then we have, looks like we're going to have some bacteria, but they're wattle. And there's a box wattle, and the bird is eastern spinebill. So it's a type of honeyeater. Honeyeaters are the major epicenter of honeyeaters. So they're just birds that like to get sap, and a lot of them get it from these wattles, eucalyptus, bottlebrush. Okay, so this one's well circulated, get a better banknote. Okay, and as you can see, it's got a bird flying, and also we have a building down below, and I can't remember what building it is, I need to look it up. Anyway, here's the gardens, and on the other side we have the Queen Elizabeth II. So this is the 2018, only has one signature, so we got Low and Lou. Who is the other guy? It's Kennedy. Is it Kennedy? Oh, Fraser. Sorry, looking at the wrong one. So I was looking at signature and thinking, no, that's not Kennedy. That's Fraser, and that's different from the earlier Fraser on the I think 1985 banknotes. So that's basically it. If you want to look at UV features, okay, so UV features, so it looks like we've got the wattle, you can see some on that, turn it over, okay, so you got the date. It's basically, it's not really UV intensive. So anyway, that is the UV features you're going to find on these. And as you can see, I've got 4 of these banknotes. So, and I've only got those in the last year. So here we are on the Reserve Bank of Australia website, and here we have the serial number prefixes. So 2016 had 4 million of each prefix, that's first and last, and that's a huge number of banknotes. And then 2017 we had none printed, in 2018 we had, for each prefix, 622,404 banknotes. So that's a lower print run. And then we've got 20, which is even lower, 242. We have, missed 19, same. So 19 and 20 seem to be quite low, 200, probably 220,000 each. And 22, 23, no banknotes, and 21 we had 700,000. Okay, that was a bit confusing. Okay, so basically, yeah, it's actually quite low for these current banknotes. So the first and last prefix will have the same number, or low and frozen. The only other banknotes printed was $50. As you can see, there's 6 million of those, so they're pretty common. If we go to Numistar, so you've got information about here. So we've got 2018, only 2% of people who have this banknote have this date. And of those, probably, not even 1% of people who have this banknote have first and last prefix, so it's pretty hard to get. You have a first and last prefix, they're the same. Okay, so specimen. Woo! And you can pretty much buy them on site, but really $16, $24 for a 2016. That's overpriced. But if you wanted to buy one of these are all uncirculated, and these are all sold values, so you'd be paying between $11 and $15. Okay, that one's has free delivery, so I'd say it's just $11 as well. So basically, just a little bit over face value for a 2018. So here we have, okay, so it's $15 and you're paying about $30 for that with postage, so blah blah. And a lot of these from Thailand, which you can buy them, and then you go down there and you've got other banknotes. So the ones I can compare them to is 93. 92 had a huge series, and as you can see, uncirculated, doesn't sells $25, but really the 2013, which had a lower print run, sells for a lot less. We'll make another video on that later. So basically, you can see whatever banknotes or other dates sell for. Most of these have a higher print run. Okay, so total, if you want to know how many banknotes in total were printed. Okay, so what I've done, so there's 13. So 13 is A to M. That gives you 13 numbers. And then we've got 4. So 4 is A, B, C, and D. So 13 times 4 is 52. And then we've got 10 because the prefix, okay, so the prefix E ends at J, so that's only 10 numbers. So basically, that's where the 10 comes in. So that's all the letters together, because the first letter is A to E, and the second letter is A to M, but you got to pair it with each of the first letter. Okay, the 18 doesn't count because it's just the dates on all the banknotes. So then you got 62. Then you times it by the number of banknotes printed, so 622,404, which is this number here, and it gives you 38,539,048 banknotes printed in total. So that's not as high as the other 2016. Obviously, it's higher than the 2019 and 20, which seems to be only a quarter that. So, but overall, this is a huge number of banknotes to be printed. So I just kept these just because they're a low print run, but I've looked for anything like the previous banknote series, so the first polymer series. 600,000 is quite a number of banknotes, and really this one is probably never going to get any higher value than $5. So that's quite damaged. So really this one is just going back to be spent. Now these two, this one is the center fold, and I don't see, is Is there any other damage? I don't see any other damage, so I will just keep that. Because that fold, it hasn't been pressed, so it's just folded. So it can actually come out. Now this one looks like uncirculated, but I think it does have some damage on it. Oh yeah, so we have some damage there. So we've got some damage there. But still, it's a good space filler if you want to have this type of banknote in your collection. Actually, I'd like to get a type set, so all the banknotes in this one, you can see the folds in the banknote. But really, it's still a good banknote to get if you don't have one. But if you have one, really, I would just spend this. So basically these two I just spend. These two I'll get. This one I'll probably keep. This one I'll probably just keep until I get another one. Anyway, hope this helps you with your 2018 $5 banknotes. Let me know what you think and have an awesome coin and banknote collecting time.